Taz warned you. Taz hangry.
Taz is hangry, everyone. Get out of his way if you don't want to be eaten. Hey everybody, Bandicoot Commando here, and welcome back to Multiverses. Last time,
Come on, pick character.
I did some matches with Superman here. And today, we're going to be doing Taz. That's all I have to say. Let's get to it. Alrighty, Taz, or the Tasmanian Devil, depending on how you want to say it. Taz was originally, he made his debut in the 1950s cartoon, Bugs Bunny cartoon. I believe it was called, I might be mixing this up with one of the others. I think it was either called Bedeviled Deviled or Devil May Hair. It was one of those two. But in that, Bugs had to deal with the Tasmanian Devil, and at that time, Taz didn't really have a name. He was just simply called that, the Tasmanian Devil, or just the Devil, although that's what you call real Tasmanian Devils. Sometimes you can just call them Devils if you want. Now anyway, Taz was surprisingly okay with a lot of people. Like, some people actually found him pretty interesting, that more cartoons were made, even though, according to, who was it? Was it Bob Clampett? I forgot if it was Bob Clampett or I don't remember the people at Warner Brothers well, but someone didn't really like Taz, or at least one of the directors didn't think he was interesting, but it was like, you know what, if people like it, we'll make more, and he would appear in, I think, 2 or 3 more cartoons with Bugs Bunny, and he even had one with Daffy. And in that one, Daffy actually wins in that cartoon. Although, if Taz being the villain, of course, the good guys have to win, even if they're Daffy. And later on, Taz would prove to be surprisingly popular enough that when the 1990s rolled around, he got his own cartoon show called Tazmania. And in that show, it focused on Taz and his family in the continent of Australia, in Tasmania. And it just focuses on his little misadventures and all that other little stuff. I actually have not seen that cartoon. Like, a lot of those Looney Tune cartoons that were in the 90s, like that one and Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, I think that's what it was called. Like, that was the only one I saw. I never did see Tazmania. I also did see, I obviously seen Tiny Toons, and I have seen Animaniacs, but my memory is a little poor because they were, at the time I saw those, I was pretty young, like really young. But let's get to the point with Taz and his moveset. Oh yeah, one more thing with Taz. Not only was he popular to get his show, but he had quite a lot of merchandise to him thanks to that show. Me and my brother, we had words. We had sweaters of Taz on them in football gear to go with the Colts thing. Yeah, Colts, Indiana boy here. Alright, let's get down to Taz's moveset. So his neutral attack, which I just did there, Taz will chug down a big pot of soup, and then he'll chug out the soup. And by chug, I mean he'll spit it out is what I meant. And it's okay, and it does a bit of damage. And plus, when you're charging it, Taz does get gets a bit of armor as he gets close to fully charged with it. And it does some decent damage. For Taz's side attack, the first part of it is that he will use a salt and pepper shaker, and he will salt and pepper the opponent. And then afterwards, Taz can finish the attack with a quick spin attack on him. Again, it's pretty standard and helpful. For Taz's up attack, he will hold 2 halves of a sub sandwich and slam them together on the opponent. What makes this move unique is that Taz not only can charge it, but he can move while charging it, although he can't hold it for long before he eventually slams. I think in both the beta and previous versions of the final 4 patches, Taz was able to hold it indefinitely until they tweaked it to where he can only hold it for a short amount of time. Let's see. For his down attack, Taz will prime himself and then do a short hop and stomp on the opponent. This has a purple aura, so it'll bypass armor. As for the air attack versions, as you see with the soup, it's still the same, except Taz doesn't have any armor, but he does spin when he chugs it. I say chug, when he spits it out, and it does some rather good damage. For his side air, yeah, he bites. He takes a big bite. And fun fact, Tasmanian Devils, and I mean the real one, not just the cartoon one here, devils have a very strong bite. The few times you've seen people get bit by them, it's not so much as that that's more of a, that's more of a warning bite they're giving. They're not giving a serious bite, but still, they got some strong bites. They are scavengers, and they will eat bones like hyenas. Tasmanian devils are kind of like the hyenas of Australia. Sort of. Anyway, for the up air attack, it's the same, just slamming the sub sandwich. For his down air attack, which I may or may not be doing in just a few seconds, I may or may not do it, but Taz will spin his lower half. The lower half of him he'll turn into a tornado to spin. And it also has purple aura, so it'll allow you to bypass armor. Pretty useful and good. Now for his specials. For Taz's neutral special, yep, see, there was the down attack I did. For Taz's neutral special, he will open his mouth very wide and then close it. You can either close it yourself, or you can just have him do it in full. Oh, and this costume. This is known as the She-Devil costume. This is just basically the female version of Taz, who, in the original, in his debut cartoon, it was how Taz was defeated. When Bugs was running out of ideas on how to deal with Taz, he gets an idea and he calls a phone, and then he has a female devil brought, and he weds the two of them together, and bam! Happily married. Well, maybe not happily married, but unholy matrimony, possibly. And the She-Devil sometimes appears in later media of Taz, just as a bit of a... Oh. Voice files? I'll have to look. My girlfriend was asking, how do you have these voice files? And I'm like, voice files? I didn't put anything on. Anyway, got done with the She-Devil costume, so... I never finished with the neutral, so with Taz's neutral, he will attempt to essentially eat the opponent. If he can successfully eat the opponent, they'll be in his stomach, and then, well, not so much as in his stomach, but they'll be in his body, and you can then mash the special button to chew to further damage them. And as they're further damaged, they will also get stacks of weaken applied to them. Which then, either until it runs out, or you can do it yourself. If you hold the direction stick and either left, right, or up, down, I hate Samurai Jack players who do this. If you hold it left or right, or up, Taz will spit the opponent out in that direction. Otherwise, once the meter runs out, he'll just spit them out in the direction he's facing. Taz can also swallow projectiles with this move, which plays a key to his down special, which we'll get to momentarily. So then, next would be...
The energy flows. Lightning speed.
No.
Oh, I almost survived, but I ran out of dodge by then. Oh, wait, before I finish with, before I get on with his side special, you need to see this. Look at me, just playing almost professionally even. Look at that. Yeah, look at me go. Oh, the chicken, that's part of Taz's gameplay gimmick, which we'll also get to in a bit. And look at that. See? Look at that. Very cool. And then this happens. I don't know what happened here. I don't know why I'm... See? And I could not control it. I could not break out of it, no matter what I did. And it's like, why? What? Why? It's almost as if he did it, and not me. But whatever. I have the evidence that the game needs fixing on that. Yeah, I was so in much disbelief with that. Anyway. For Taz's side special, he will do his tornado spin attack with it. It's probably one of his strongest moves he's got. Also, this skin is his Space Jam on what he looked like in the original Space Jam. Complete with it being ripped up to make him look like a caveman, too. And he did play a small role in that movie. He did, you know, his part of, you know... He did his part. Anyway, the spin, as you saw me do there, Taz will just spin until he hits the opponents. Now, if you're doing 2v2s, if you pass by your teammate while spinning, you'll get an extension for the spin. So it's kind of helpful. Man, I just like that I'm just biting and slamming and everything on this guy. See, it's a powerful move. It's, in fact, both Taz's side and up specials have probably the biggest knockback you can inflict, at least as of now. Speaking of specials, Taz's up special, which I've done a few times, is that he'll get himself into that, like, what they're called the cartoon dust cloud of violence. That's the name of the trope, though. And it starts out small, but if it continues, yeah, it will grow in size, and then anything that gets caught, any opponents that get caught in it, they will, yeah, they just take damage and they'll get launched out. The downside to the dust cloud, though, is that Taz is not invincible. And he's not invincible when he's doing his tornado either. He can still be damaged by it, especially by projectiles. Yeah, I make short work of that guy. So, yeah, you can't really do anything if you get hit by projectiles. Okay, yep, this was a rematch. For Taz's down special, he will spit out a boot. It doesn't do much and it doesn't go far, but it can sort of help with hit stuns, and it helps with Taz's gimmick, which I will get to once I finish with his specials. For the air versions of the specials, they're pretty much the same. They all operate and work the same. The difference, though, is that if you swallow someone while you're in the air, you can't chew on them as you're falling. You have to wait in... Well, it's not even so much you have to wait. Like, as soon as you touch the ground, Taz is going to spit them out. Or alternatively, if you fall long enough, Taz will eventually spit them out on his own. Other than that, the rest of the moves, like I said, they operate the same. Oh yeah, if you try to use Taz's spin or his dust cloud move, they all have different properties while they're trying to recharge. For the tornado, Yeah, don't ask about the giant chicken. We'll get to that. Don't worry. If you try to use the tornado and it hasn't fully recharged yet, you can still use it, but it doesn't go as far. It doesn't last long. And I don't think it doesn't have as much power into it. But it still can do just enough to get the job done. And as for the up special, if it hasn't recharged yet, Taz will just simply flail his arms upwards, but it can still do damage and finish the job, as I just found out. That really should have not killed him. Let's see. Oh, the down special. I did say that Taz's neutral special links to his down. If you eat a projectile with his neutral and then use his down special, Taz will spit out that projectile he swallowed. Or, if you're using the perk like I'm using, the Iron Stomach perk, Taz will instead spit out an anvil that you can pick up and throw. It's a good item to have. And it does 10 damage as well. This costume, this is basically Taz's outfit from Space Jam New Legacy. Except, I think in the movie itself, it's not ripped up and torn like that. But, you know, it's an iconic thing that Taz has to... I don't know why he decided to purposely fall.
Feels like my boot kicker is getting low.
It's just an iconic thing to see Taz as a brute that, you know, any clothing he wears, it has to look a bit torn. Let's see, anything else? Oh, so when it comes to swallowing projectiles with Taz, not all projectiles can be swallowed. Only certain ones can be. Like, I wish I had a full list on what can and can't, but the only things I can tell you that can't would be, like, anything that has armor-breaking aura, anything with the purple aura, Taz can't swallow. I don't think he can swallow energy-looking projectiles. They have to be, like, physical in some way. And, am I gonna do it again? Am I gonna turn him into a roasted chicken? Yay, chicken! Yeah, I'll get to what the chicken does in a bit. Yeah, just certain objects can and cannot be swallowed by Taz. Oh, and another thing with his Dust Cloud move, I think this only applies to a perk, but if you have the other perk of his, the I gotta get in there one. Oh yeah, this was my next match. This outfit, it's just simply called Beachcomber Taz. It's kind of an original outfit, but it's also based on a piece of merchandise that... Well, not so much as merchandise, but Taz wore this outfit before in some stock art. I think it is like a merchandise-related thing. Anyway, I'm just going to say this. I lost against this guy because anytime a Morty player does this sort of stuff, that just tells me that, yeah, I'm not going to be in for a good time. So, yeah, anything with a purple aura, anything that's not energy, anything that is energy related, Taz cannot eat and swallow. And as for the dog pile, as it's called, the other perk is that your teammate can get in it, and they can not only add into it, but they can make it go faster and make it do more damage, and it also gains armor, so that way no pesky projectile people like Morty here can break you out of it that easily. Although I do think without the perk, it can still be like, you can still have a teammate, you know, get into it. Let's see. Oh yeah, so the other things with Taz in terms of... That explosion should have not been able to reach me, is all I can say. Yeah, I'm gonna lose, but why am I watching the fact that I'm gonna lose? Oh, the thing with the anvil, only Taz can pick it up. I think teammates can pick it up in 2v2s, but only Taz and his teammate can pick it up. Opponents won't be able to pick it up, but they can destroy it. Oh, so Taz's other little gimmicks and such. So I mentioned that if you pass by an opponent while spinning, it'll extend the spin move. If you pass by, well, your teammate is what I meant. If you pass by your teammate, when you're not spinning or anything, Taz will lick them, and it will give them a small heal. Although this ability also needs to recharge. And then, let's see. Let's see, what am I forgetting? Oh, the chicken thing. Yeah, from here on out, it's just original costumes. So whenever you hit enemies with the food-related attacks, so the soup, the sandwich, sub sandwich, and the salt and pepper shaker, you will apply what they call tasty, a tasty debuff. If you can reach the maximum stacks, 18, it will turn your opponent into a giant roast chicken. From there, the opponent is essentially helpless. Well, sorta. It's like if they were a chibi rain dog. But the difference being is that, the difference though is that they can actually use an emote and taunt that's exclusive to that form. And plus, anytime you beat up on them, they will lose chicken pieces. They'll drop chicken drumsticks that Taz and his teammate can pick up. And it will heal, well, it'll heal your teammate. Anytime I pick them up with Taz, it doesn't heal me, so I'm assuming it's just meant more for your teammate than yourself. All in all, Taz is a very, attack-focused kind of fighter, where, really, the idea is you just gotta keep pressing, you gotta keep pushing and pressing the opponent to, try to, get them to use more of their stamina and waste their specials. That way, you can easily take them out. So, other advice I can give with Taz is, when there's objects on the field, always eat them. Always try to eat them. That way, they won't be able to, like in this stage, for instance, eat Mojo's bombs. That way, you can either spit them right back out at opponents, or, if you have the Iron Stomach perk, you can give them a nice cartoony anvil to the face. And another thing is that when it comes to weakening opponents, once the opponents are at a high enough percentage, finish them off with either the tornado or the dog pile, because it's going to do enough damage for the job. And, anything else? Oh yeah, that anvil. Make sure, I mean, if you got the anvil and you're gonna use it, make sure you don't lose it. I mean, it's only got 3 uses when it hits people and it breaks, but try not to lose it early because it can be helpful. And because it has the purple aura, it's handy. What sucks with the eating thing was that in the beta, bugs is safe and rockets were considered projectiles that Taz can eat. And this was removed in the final game, sadly, but believe me, I had a memory where I beat someone as Taz. I forgot to put my usual perk back, but I was able to beat a Bugs Bunny. I just kept eating his rockets and safes whenever he summoned them, and I'm like, yeah. And this Bugs player was apparently a bit inexperienced, or at the very least, too over-reliant on said rocket and safes that I was able to just defeat him. Well, I think that's all I can say about the devil. I will see you guys at the end of the video.
Red point, red point! Robert. No. Blue point! Blue point!
He got me that time.
Ouchie! Winner! Winner! Winner!
Cold cuts.
Taz does not give second chances.
Hey, come on, man. No pain.
Hungry! Blue point! Blue point!
I guess I'm not like totally invincible.
Winner! 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 No.
Don't worry, Pop-Pop's back.
Wow, wow.
Bite! This time, Taz, bite!
More salt, more salt. Ow. Move.
Solve that one real quick.
Blue point! Blue point!
Counteract the negative effects. Man, I'm awesome.
Red point! Red point! You think Taz done? No. Winner! Winner! Winner!
Well, alrighty, everyone. That was my matches with Taz, and all in all, like I said, very like straightforward kind of person where all you gotta do is just attack, attack, attack. Just keep pressing no matter what. Even though he does have a high he has a high chance of being knocked out rather easily. Just high susceptibility, as I'll put it. So, that will do for this session of Multiverses. Join me next time. So, Beetlejuice is coming when this event drops. I don't know how you'll unlock him. You probably have to buy him with the Beetle currency from what it looks like. But you just gotta buy him. I don't know how many beetles he'll cost, or I don't even know if he'll cost Gleamium or not, but I'll try to get him at the earliest that I can, and then we'll do some matches with him, and we'll see how he turns out. So, that is it, and I will see you guys next time.
You talk more than rabbit.